Hi everyone, welcome. Um, I hope you're all well. Thank you for returning, and hello if you're new. Happy New Year. There was a real heavy shift in the energies a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if you or anyone else felt it. It was very disorienting. I'm still feeling disoriented. I was having trouble adjusting to this new energy. It just feels like we went through a portal, which makes sense. I mean, we just did come through the 1-1 portal. But this came in even before that. It was right around Christmas, and that was right in the middle between the 12-12 portal and the 1-1 portal. And now everything is different. Okay, so I wanted to do a quick energy read for the collective. No astrology this time. I am going to be doing a big astrology write up for the new year pretty soon, but I wanted to get some other readings out of the way first. I wanted to do a collective energy read. Then I've got the death splits the difference spread for Libra. And then there's going to be a moon reading also in the next few days. And I wanted to do that while I'm working on the big astrology write up. So we're just going to do hopefully quick energy read for the collective. Now I'm using the Celtic Lenormand deck, the First Light Tarot, the Gilded deck by Ciro Marchetti, and the Animal Wisdom deck. So please remember that not all messages will resonate for every person. So leave what doesn't resonate now, but keep it in mind because it might make sense at a later time. You are all at different points in the timelines. I like to say that I can read the script, but I can't tell you which character you all individually play or where you all choose to stand on the stage, whether you are an observer or you're involved in the situation. I can only read the energies. So please put yourself where you resonate, okay? So with the First Light Tarot, I wanted to get kind of a lay of the land first. I've been really liking the way these spreads have been laying out lately. The first card we dropped was the Burial Mound. Then the next card was the Girl Child in the same position as last time. And next to her, you have the Boy Child. Now, don't freak out. I know what it sounds like. That's not it. Okay, relax. Um, the Burial Mound talks about putting something to rest and leaving it there. Okay? Something has died. A situation, a relationship, but more than likely, this has to do with thought processes or a set of beliefs. Because the burial mound does say loss, death, release, okay, finality. That there is an end point here. And I really feel like that's what we just went through with that portal energy once we got to a certain point, and then it all changed. It all shifted. This is brand new. Whatever that was that we were going through in the past is gone. And this new energy has come in. So we're really having to try to readjust to this. I know I am. I'm having a hard time. So come along with me and we'll face this together. But this also is talking about laying something to rest, burying the past, and more importantly, releasing obligation to dead beliefs. This is about beliefs, thought processes, and um, guidelines. Do you know what I mean? Like things we use to really believe in order to bring some semblance of normalcy or balance or stability to our lives. Okay. Next to that, you've got the girl child, and this is something or someone that is innocent, curious, honest, helpful, open and thoughtful, warm, inexperienced but learning. Okay. There she is, collecting eggs, and her chickens are there. Then you have the boy child, and the boy child is someone who's young and innocent, curious and open, trusting and sincere, has a beginner's mind, and has new beliefs, projects, and thoughts. Okay, he's playing in the water trough with a boat. And where the girl child seems very content and engaged with the work that she's doing, the boy child has the same engagement and interest in his play. So she's working. I mean, right? Obvious. Girls are working, boys are playing. No. But this is showing that there's a balance here. There's new energy coming in, and you're very involved, very interested, um, and almost like, do you know what an alpha state is? It's like when we're doing something that's taking all our interest and concentration. It's almost meditative. And when you're in that meditative alpha state, you're really open to insight from the divine. You're open to intuition. You're open to downloads that give you inspiration. It's a very peaceful kind of meditative. I heard you're safe in that energy because it's where you belong. That's what I heard. That meditative alpha state, when you're into something that you resonate with because you're supposed to be there doing that. And I feel like after this burial mound, that kind of energy is opening up for us, for you, for everyone. But something has to be put away in the past and left there, okay? My one concern is on this burial mound card, the doorway of the tomb is not closed or sealed, it's still open. So it's like this is just really fresh. Either you just fresh walked away from something, or you walked away and you're looking back, and the idea that the door is open, it's inviting you back in, it's inviting you back to continue being in the energy of something that is already dead, and you have to let it go. And I believe it has something to do with the old belief system or process of understanding, because both two of these cards here are talking about thoughts and beliefs. Okay, the burial mound is talking about old beliefs being put to rest, and the boy child card is talking about projects and new thoughts. So whatever this is, yeah, it's something that was sad because it represents death, and death is sad for people. But after that, look at this brilliant, wonderful energy that comes in after it, because something was put in this burial mound. Now this new energy can be fully expressive. It can be fully looked into. The attention can be given to these new projects, okay? And it looks like it's very blessed. These children are happy. They're just very content in the condition that they find themselves, okay? And that can be how you feel. You feel maybe in this new cycle that you feel like a child again, and I know that some children feel very unsure about things, but if you think about kids, they are invincible, or they believe themselves to be invincible. They believe in their beliefs, they believe in who they are, they believe they know what they know and want what they want, and they're very open to learning. They're very open to experiencing new things, and that's the kind of energy you're coming into after this hard putting something aside. Um, so we're going to go to the first light tarot. You drop the Empress, the Hermit, and a card called Soul Identity. This has something to do with finding your place in the soul family. Okay, this could be um, physical family, like whoever you're surrounded with, but this feels like it could be new energy. Empress energy is something that's in development. It's stirring. It's simmering. Something is being created from scratch. it's growth, abundance, and productivity. So, like I was saying, these two children here, they're very enthralled with what they're doing, but it's for productive reasons. Um, what sticks out with me, what sticks out to me for the boy child is that he's playing with a boat, and the boat symbolizes a new direction. It symbolizes freedom and opportunity and new experiences. You never know what kind of adventures you're going to have. If you are the sailor of your own ship. It also talks about finding a direction. Um, Boats, for me anyways, the symbolism of boats and stuff correspond to the star card sometimes, which is finding a new direction. And that new direction is definitely your intention to move towards your dreams and hopes and wishes. Okay. So that's kind of what this boy child feels like he's concentrating on. He's concentrating very lightheartedly on a new direction. Okay. Now with the Empress card, with the development, when I dropped clarifiers, you got the Magician and the Six of Cups. So this is really interesting. On top of that, from the Animal Wisdom deck, you dropped the Two of Feathers, which is the Two of Swords, in reverse. So this is really encouraging. Um, but I'm a little concerned because you're supposed to have put something, or maybe it feels like something was put to rest in the past, maybe that you didn't control. Okay. And then you had to move forward from that and continue on with this new cycle. Okay. But here we have the idea of manifesting something from the past again. But this time it's sweet. So oh, is that what that is? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, oh. Okay. What I said before still stands, but like I always notice that as I keep going through the reading and we get more and more layers, the messages tend to shift and adjust for whoever needs to hear that new message. And for me now coming in, they're saying that you thought it was put to rest. You thought it was in the past. And with the Six of Cups here, we've got, look at a boy child and a girl child from the past, nostalgia. This was a sweet connection from the past. And here we have, oh my goodness, the boy child and the girl child, and there was something about them that had been put to rest. Now down here we've got the Empress, which is development and like incubating, like something that's being formed and nurtured, something new, something that's being produced, growth and abundance. And on top of that, we have the Magician and the Six of Cups, again, a girl child and a boy child. This may be something of a relationship from the past that you thought was done and over with. You thought it was dead and buried. And it was from childhood when things were sweet and uncomplicated, I heard. Now here we are with the Empress manifesting something from the um, divine feminine perspective, and the Magician trying to bring it into the 3D with the masculine perspective, manifesting from nothing, well, from the bare basics on this sweet Six of Cups, nostalgia. It's a beautiful connection that was untainted by life. It was so young, it's so new. It hadn't been tested yet. And that's interesting because with the girl child here, it said inexperienced. And on top of that, you have the Two of Swords in reverse. Two of Swords upright is being stuck between a rock and a hard place with decisions you have to make where none of the choices are any good. And that's why in the card she's got the two swords up like an X in front of her heart, because it's like she's saying, I'm not hearing any more about this. I'm not receiving any new information. I'm not hearing your arguments about it. I just have to make this decision, and there's no good choices to choose from. So that's why Two of Swords energy is Libra energy. I do give it to Gemini also, but for me, it's a lot of it is Libra because we're extremely indecisive. There was some kind of indecision here, and now the Two of Swords is in reverse, which means those swords have been laid down and a decision has been made. And it was a hard decision and probably took a long time to get here. This is so interesting. In the next column, you have the Hermit card, Virgo energy. This is going inward to gain greater perspective. This is guidance, facts, and wisdom through the higher self and coming to terms with the truth. On top of that, you do have the Eight of Cups, which is walking away from something that was not emotionally fulfilling, but it is walking towards the idea of the Nine of Cups, which is being ready again to receive that Ace of Cups, which is the one that's full. The reason somebody's walking away from these Eight of Cups is because they're all empty. They've been through all of them. They tipped them all over. They found out that there was nothing in there to drink from. Whatever this was in the past, there was nothing there. And then on top of that, you've got the Justice card. Elephant, the bearer of justice. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. The Justice card talks of balance and karma. The Justice is Libra energy. Did we have Libra before? No, we didn't have Libra yet. Oh, with the Empress. The Empress is Taurus and Libra. So this could be in your chart or in the chart of somebody that's involved in the situation. Taurus and Libra. There's Virgo here. Here's Libra again. And that's all that we've really got. Excuse me. Balance, karma, and integrity. Using wisdom, having patience, grounding after change. Okay, and there was change that came in here earlier. It is unbiased truth, which is here on the Hermit card. Somebody went within and really had to come to terms with some truth. It's also fairness and honor. And I feel like the fairness that it's calling for is fairness with yourself, fairness with what you expected, what you wanted. And also, they're telling me be fair to yourself about what your emotional needs are and what you look for and what you want and what you're going towards. Because even though this Eight of Cups is a card signifying somebody walking away, they're walking away out of justice. Something here, they came to terms with something that was very hard to reconcile. That some cups that they thought they had set up were not um, going to they were not going to come to fruition for anything. These, I believe, are two separate. For some in the collective right now, the way I'm reading it is this is two separate things. The next column here, you have soul identity. Again, this is the idea of reconnecting with your soul family, not necessarily physical family, biological family. This is family that you chose, family that was put with you by the divine. Because you're all part of this soul knit, this tightly knit soul family. This is compassion and patience. This is service to others. Now, that to me is more Virgo energy because Virgo represents how we serve others in sacred service. And that could mean soul connections also. But this is love, tolerance, forgiveness in family, and someone of high intelligence. Again, Virgo energy. So we've got the Hermit next to this card of Virgo energy. Now, Virgo, you do tend to get caught in a lot of negative self-talk. It's like Eeyore complex. I hate to say it that way. You're a honorary air sign because you're ruled by Mercury, who's co-ruler of Gemini, another air sign, and you do process information quite highly intelligently, and that was also on the card. But you do have some um morose Libra energy in that also, where you tend to get really down on yourself. You tend to wallow in guilt sometimes. There was some kind of feeling of obligation here, and that did also come out, I think, in the burial mound, where you had to put something to rest that you felt obligated to, especially within your belief system. I feel a lot of Taurus energy here too, and Virgo energy with the overthinking. But um, let's see. Oh, also, then on top of that, from the Ciro Marchetti deck, you got the Three of Swords. This was a heartbreak. This felt like a betrayal, but nobody really betrayed each other in this situation. Because, like I said, there's two energies here of this being from a very young perspective. So, if this was Six of Cups energy, there was a parting of the ways, even though neither of you were to blame. Okay, on top of this Three of Swords, it is in the upright, so it still feels fresh, which is really interesting to me, because if this is a Six of Cups situation where it was from the childhood or from the past or didn't get a chance to really develop any further, this was a real blow to the emotions, which it it doesn't match with how developed the relationship was. Like, I feel like if this was something from childhood and like two friends kind of went their separate ways and nobody was really to blame, there was no fights or anything. It was just life took you apart. It shouldn't be this heavy on the heart, but it is. Even still, it's still being felt because this was part of your soul family. This was, and they said to me, your connection to this person or situation, your connection to this sweet relationship from the past ignited your identifying of your, how can I say this? It ignited some kind of recognition of who you were to them and yourself. It's like it shone this great light on who your soul family was. Okay? And then there's this heartbreak on top of it. Yeah, like I said, if this had been just a routine kind of, oh, this was my friend from the neighborhood and we went our separate ways, we have tons of those in our lives and we don't feel heartbroken about it or betrayed or sad or depressed. This wasn't like, but this particular relationship, the parting of the ways, maybe at the time, didn't feel that deep, but this person here in the Eight of Cups is an adult. So here in the adult energy, when they're walking away from something else in their life, they are looking towards this direction, towards the soul identity card, the soul family, and the heartbreak, the three of swords here. They're they're looking at it. On top of the Three of Swords from the Animal Wisdom deck, you got the Scarab Beetle, which is the Ten of Branches. This is the Ten of Wands. All the tens are an ending to a cycle. And the Ten of Wands is the ending of a cycle that was particularly burdensome. This is talking about burdens and laying them down. This is the end. Again, we started with a card designating an end point, and we're ending with a card talking about release and burial mounds right in the beginning says release and finality, an end point. And here on the Ten of Wands, we've got end, release, and transform. It says don't push yourself beyond your endurance and exceed your limits. It says review your accomplishments, release the old, and transform past it. So someone is really, really trying to process and release and put an end to the burdensome cycle of this heartache that is still on their minds. Okay? The one thing that I noticed about the Ten of Branches here with the scarab beetle, this is the Ten of Wands. And notice that some of them are on fire. 4 of them are on fire, which represents the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is a wonderful representation of a new beginning between a relationship that's supposed to build a solid foundation towards a loving future. So they're trying to end this heartache that's been such a burdensome cycle. And I believe it had something to do with hopes and dreams of a Four of Wands that they thought was going to come to life, and it didn't. We've got 2 cards saying that something had to be released. And it did cause some very heavy hearts here. Excuse me. But I do want to reiterate that we have 2 cards of manifesting again. Somebody's going to try to revisit this. It's like you thought it was over. You thought because so much time has passed. When this beautiful partnership ended, you guys were children, or the relationship was in like a childlike phase where it was just beginning and everything was brand new, and nothing really was able to get off the ground before you guys parted ways. And that was like disappointing, but at the time it wasn't heart-wrenching, right? Now time has passed. The magician here is an old man. The person here in the Eight of Cups is a full-grown adult. And whatever he had manifested up to this point, he's realizing it has become very emotionally empty. And now in his adulthood, he's walking away. And then, bam, on top of that is justice, Libra energy, karma. He is definitely realizing that there needs to be some kind of balance brought back to this. And I heard it's time, it's about time. It's time. Karma is here, and I believe the karma is good, but you have to end this cycle of heartbreak, and that's exactly what this person is intending. Even I don't see much movement here so far. I only see realization and intent. It's like somebody really wants to close out this cycle with this other energy that is their soul family, because something was very heavy on their hearts and caused them great sadness, and now they want to end this cycle. This is really nice. It's very sad though. Like I feel this. I heard somebody is like moving away from something, but they're very cut off. Even if this is just an emotional moving on from something, if it's just in the mind or in the heart, even if they haven't physically moved on yet, it's because what they see in front of them looks like a very lonely road. Now, I have to say, He's looking up towards the moon. Now that's a cloud in front of the moon. I originally thought that that was like a castle, but that's a cloud. In the card, in this deck, or in my other deck, that is the moon. Is a girl on a bridge staring at the moon because the moon reminds her of where her home is, where her true family is. In that card from the Tarot of the Divine, that deck is all mythology and folklore. And in that deck, the moon is a story about um, a person who their people, their species dwell on the moon. And there was some kind of um, event that happened that pushed her off of when she was a baby and sent her down to earth. And as she grew up, she had this very homesick feeling every time she saw the moon, and she didn't know why. And that's what this feels like in this card. He's staring at the moon and he's feeling a very homesick feeling, and I don't think he knows why. That's an odd, I've had that feeling, that homesick feeling, and I don't know why. But you know you're pushed to go towards something that you can't even imagine yet. But you know it's there. You know it's meant for you. You know? And that's the feeling that I get from this. They're also showing me this card and the other card I was talking about with the girl on the bridge looking at the moon, because they want to show me the symbolism of them both looking at the moon. And they brought up that story because on the moon is where it was her home. Those were her people. And maybe this is like them looking at the moon from separate locations, both feeling that homesick feeling, yet they can't really pinpoint why. I hope you can't hear that. My fridge is making a horrible noise and I can hear it. It's distracting, but I really hope it's not being picked up in the mic. So I feel in the end here, I don't see much movement, but I do see someone coming to terms with the idea that there's heartbreak here that has to do with who their soul family is. And they have to put this finally to rest because they can't move on. And I think they're coming to the realization that in order to put it to rest, they actually have to go back and revisit it. And they may even have to make contact with that person in order to put some closure on it. I don't know, however, if the closure includes leaving it behind or if it includes reigniting it. I tend to lean towards reigniting it because we do have the magician here and the empress, which is development and trying to manifest something out of nothing. So this may be a chance to come back around and reignite a Six of Cups from the past, because having to walk away from it is still causing reverberation here in the adulthood of heartbreak, and realizing that they need to put an end to their heartbreak by going back to where it started. Okay? I hope this is resonating. I hope these messages are reaching you for your highest good. If you are vibing with my content, please take a moment to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, excuse me, share my video. It really helps the algorithm get my content seen. In the description, you'll find my email and donation links. I'm open for personal readings and birth chart inquiries. I am an astrologer first. I picked up tarot years later. I'm an astrologer first, so if you want help looking at your chart and stuff, please contact me. Let me do it. um, for any small donation, I'd love to do a 3 card spread for you as a thank you. My email, Venmo, and Cash App are in the description. I really appreciate any and all feedback, signal boost, or donation. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. We're going to go to the Ancestor Oracle messages now. I love this part because this is where things start getting tied together. I really did not expect this I did not expect this kind of reading when I laid out the cards. I really didn't. I thought this was going to be something like job related or like spiritual journey. I thought maybe politics was going to come into play because politics is really, it's it's a hot mess out there right now. So I did not expect a message about um, this past connection. So please give us 2 Ancestor Oracle messages for, okay, the collective, about something that had been put to rest in childhood. My goodness, that's too many. And it all comes back to that 6 of Cups, the child, the girl and the boy. And that Magician manifesting a clear decision this time. That 2 of Swords is in reverse, which means there's no indecision here anymore. No, that's too many. Give me just one more, please. I got the Snake here. Shed old skin. Snake energy had been coming out a couple readings. Oh my goodness, a couple readings ago. I'll see what that one is. Okay, we got the Druid, and it talks about holding space. So we'll do the snake first. This is talking about shedding the old. Snake energy came out in the last reading in the Lenormand cards, talking about a cycle has ended. You've grown past it. That's why the snakes shed their skin, because they grow. It's not just some random, process that they go through. It's a growth, and they literally grow out of their skin. And you have to shed that all, otherwise it can leave the snake it can leave them vulnerable. Let's see here. Where the heck is the snake? Oh, I think I just passed it. There we go. Snake. Shed old skin. It says, cast off the old. Reveal your true colors, talents, and gifts to the world. We did get this recently. So this is a continuing thread of energy from before. The energy of renewal is washing over your life at this time. If for some reason you feel that your true self hasn't been recognized, or you've been misread by others, know the energy is now leaving. That energy is now leaving you. As you've been working through your old stories, and all the self-limiting beliefs that you've accumulated along the way, you've been peeling away a shield of skin that has created limiting experiences. Your own personal commitment to growth has been recognized, and now the external world will begin to reflect all of the work that you've been doing within. If you feel someone you love has misunderstood you recently, They will be able to see beyond that if you're willing to recognize your own challenges. This is a time for renewal, abundance, and connection. Let yourself be reborn and celebrated. So, yeah, along with this burial mound, something has to be let go of, shed, and remain in the past in order for this cycle to move on. It's interesting, they're telling me the cycle moves on by going back for some of you. It's like you're gonna continue you're gonna continue on the path by going backwards to that old situation. Now we have the druid. I hope this is making sense. Where the heck is it? Come on. Darn it. Sorry about the delay here. Here we go. Druid. Say hold the space. Is that right? Okay. It says hold things together. Don't take any sudden moves or changes. Stand strong knowing you are where you are supposed to be. When the Druid card appears in a reading, you're being guided to dig deep within. That's that Hermit energy. Dig deep within and hold your station. If you're wondering what to do next or have a sense of anxiety about what is unfolding in your life, it's time to shift your perceptions and move back to a state of trust. Don't change your plans or do anything drastic. Just trust in the process and let everything happen as it needs to before taking any more steps. Think of a tree. It has strong roots, yet continues to grow and bear fruit. Your life will be a reflection of this. So, there is hesitancy here. And they're saying, I believe that there may be some kind of development along the way, but you gotta be patient for it. And they're telling me that development has to do with the personal. Okay, there's still more personal work to do. They're saying hold your station. This also refers to, okay, now we do have Empress, which is development, and Magician, which is manifesting. That takes time. It takes time to create something from nothing. It takes time to bridge the energy from the 3D to the 5D so that, you know, think of it as like lightning hitting the ground. It's got to search for that lightning rod, and the lightning rod is usually the wand that the magician is holding up. So it takes time for the 5D to come down to the 3D. I don't see any pentacles here. So like I said, I don't see that anything is actually being in the works. This, I believe, is just internal movement and a shifting of beliefs and perceptions. Okay, and we're gonna go to my oracle deck and get a few last minute um, pieces of advice, little bits of insight, maybe some clarity. The rose, romance is in the air. I feel like it's possible. Like that's the intent. I heard someone say that's my intention. Hermit is Virgo, Empress Taurus, and Libra. Justice is Libra. That's all I got so far. Okay, Bubo. Oh, just one at a time, please. That one? No. Clean environment, new attitude. Yeah, you gotta let go of some things that are cluttering your energy. Indecision. There's that Two of Swords. That's also the Seven of Cups. Indecision. The Seven of Cups to me is like the vision board. You're looking at all the possibilities, but you haven't really chosen anything yet. Because you don't know which of those cups is the truth. Cauldron, yeah. I felt that when the Empress came out. Something stewing, simmering, or processing. Grasshopper, situations in the balance require careful handling. Look at that. I knew it. We had the Six of Cups, and then the boy child and the girl child you've got, and then the soul identity, soul family card. This is the red string of fate. This binds soulmates. Now, I have to say that this is a high level soulmate. This isn't just somebody that you connect with and you're like, hey, I think we spent a past life together, because that doesn't necessarily make y'all good soulmates, okay? There are some soulmates where you spend some time with them and then you realize, whoa, now I remember why I stopped fucking with you in the 1800s. That's toxic. This is not. The red string is for twin flames. And let me explain the difference, because there's a lot of controversy about what a twin flame is. Everyone tends to stick with the description that resonates with them, and I'll tell you mine. You have karmics, you have soulmates. Karmics are people that you contracted with to come into this life and have an experience with. Most of the time, they get a bad rap because they usually come with very hard lessons, okay? Then you have soulmates, and soulmates are part of the soul family, but they're separate souls, and they have their own agendas, and they have their own motives, and they have their own work to do on their souls, right? So they come, it's like you meet up your besties over on the other side, and you're like, hey, I'm going to be in New York in the 70s or in the 80s. You want to, should we come in at the same time and spend some of our life together or whatever? And you're like, yeah, let's contract to do that. We can, that's a soulmate. And that's when you meet and you're like, hey, where have you been? I know you, that really great familiar energy. A twin flame, however, can be all those good things also, but it's a little bombastic when twin flames meet. They say that in the beginning, when souls were first created, some souls contracted to be split into male and female, masculine and feminine. I don't say male and female because we come in as both, all the genders or both genders. It doesn't matter. But they contracted to be split apart. This is different from soulmates, because soulmates are souls, separate souls, and they just recognize each other. But a twin flame is one soul that has been wrenched in two. It's exceedingly rare. Out of 8 billion people, if there are a million twin flames, that's still pretty small, because it's exceedingly painful, and it takes all their lifetimes to come back together, and it's so painful. I heard someone describe it as, when soulmates meet, everything falls into place. Like, everything feels so wonderful and so perfect because you're on that same familiar vibration. But when twin flames meet, everything falls apart, because it's like two magnets with the same polarity coming together, and then everything blows up behind them. That's the difficult, but they are so drawn because it is the same soul. in two different bodies. They are so drawn to each other that they may be in the middle of fulfilling their own karmic contracts. And then when they meet, everything, there's a kaboom, a earth shattering kaboom. But this feels like one twin realizing that that relationship has to be addressed in order for there to be closure. And the way that they're going to gain closure is by reopening the door, right? Closing something out by opening it. It's a really odd feeling to try to describe. I have no idea if that's going to resonate with anybody or if that's even going to be useful to anybody. Well, let's go through the other cards though. Okay, so we got the red string of fate. That's fated love, soulmates, a divine bond, twin flame connected souls. This is unbreakable. Believe me, I know. I've tried. Yes, I have tried to break a twin flame connection, and it did not go well. So I think somebody's coming to the realization of there's no cutting this off. I have to face it. That's what it is. I have to go back and face it. Then, like I said, you got the broom, clean environment, new attitude. You got to let go of things that are cluttering your energy, both mental and physical. Grasshopper, I love this card. Situations in the balance require careful handling. Yeah, I bet. Cauldron, something is stewing, brewing, and simmering, processing. Something's in the process. That's why there's this waiting, this feeling of waiting with the Druid card. The Rose, romantic situation. And one of my favorite cards. This is Bubo the Owl. I suggest you take a look at the movie Clash of the Titans from the 80s, not this most recent one from the 80s. Bubo was a gift to Perseus because Zeus decided he wanted to give his son unfair advantage, of course. So he commanded all the gods to give Perseus a gift. And he demanded from Athena that she would give him her real life owl, her real owl. And she said, fuck that noise. I am not giving that spoiled brat my boobo. So she commissioned Hephaestus, Virgo energy, who is the blacksmith of the gods, and he created the clockwork version of her owl, Bubo. So this represents guidance, intercession, and gifts from the gods. And I believe the gift is, I know, I wish it was a little more dramatic than that. But the gift is just the realization that this connection is divine. Okay? I mean, plain and simple. This connection is divine. And then again with the indecision card. Yeah, it's hard to actually come to terms with something like this because it's so fucking foreign. When I was describing what a twin flame was, did that not sound like bullshit? Absolute madness. A soul split in two? That's ridiculous. But in the spiritual community, there that is a real thing. And anybody who has met their twin, not just a soulmate. We have tons of soulmates. It's a whole family, a whole group, right? It's the homies in the spiritual world. And we all kind of come in at different times and we come in together. Your family, your niece could be your soulmate. You know, the neighbor could be your soulmate. Cousins, mom, dad, anybody can be soulmate. Friends from school. But that twin, that's the other half of your real soul. So they do feel different. Okay? That's what I have. I hope that made sense to someone because even though I do believe in twin flames, I do believe I have met mine, I still, when I hear myself say it, feel like an absolute fool for talking about it. But it comes out for a reason. I don't necessarily like talking about love stuff. So when it does drop, I have to admit I'm a little shaky when talking about it because I don't vibe, I don't function very well in that vibration. So like I said, I hope this vibed with somebody. I hope it made sense. I've got a few more readings to get done for the next couple days. So until I see you again in the next couple days, thanks for sticking with me. Okay, thanks. Bye.